Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I go over which NFL teams pay the most taxes and which teams pay surprisingly little. So first off, what I'm talking about specifically on this is what the players pay in income taxes, because it can vary a lot.
Topic today is, what's that word? Economic.
I first thought about doing this when I heard about the Aiyuk trade, comparing the salary for the Steelers to the salary for the 49ers. The salary was relatively similar, however the tax rate in Pennsylvania is so much lower. It's at 3.07% compared to the tax rate in California of 13%. Therefore, the actual money that Aiyuk would get in Pittsburgh was just so much more. But this topic is actually a bit more complicated than you may realize, and I thought that I was the perfect person to break this down because, well, I'm an NFL YouTuber and a CPA, so I got it all covered. The most common misconception is that you just pay the state income tax for where you're at. The way that it actually works in the NFL is you pay the income taxes for the state where the game is played. Not where your team is from, but where the actual game occurs. So if you're on the Dallas Cowboys and you play at home, you're not paying any income taxes, but if you're playing at the Giants, you are.
I have to admit, I didn't see this coming.
So first off, I'll break down the teams that are paying quite a good bit of state income taxes, and just a little reminder, this is just the state income taxes. They also pay federal income taxes, sometimes city income taxes, a lot more. They do actually pay a good bit of taxes when they're making $50 million. So I think they can deal with it, but still, they do pay a lot. It can get up to around 50% at times, so it definitely hits home hard for them. So in order to break this down, what I've done is for all the teams, I took the games where they actually play in, I multiplied it by the state income tax percentage, then I divided each one by 19, added them all up, got the actual state income tax percentage that they will pay throughout the year. So the second highest, this will not surprise you, is the San Francisco 49ers at 9.64% income tax to the state. So therefore, if they make $1 million, that means 96,000 of it is just going to states. This is because they play 10 games in California, which is the highest income tax state of 13%. And to add on top of that, they also play in New York, which is over 10%, and in Minnesota, which is 9.85%. They do play 3 games in tax-free states of Florida and Washington, but that's not enough to offset it with all those 13% ones. So that's a lot of money, 9.64%. And then number one, also won't surprise you, just down the road is the Rams at 9.92%. So almost 100,000 out of $1 million you're paying in state income taxes. You'll notice they're both in the NFC West, and this is because, well, one, they get all of their games at home in California, but they also have to play against each other in California. They're division rivals, so yes, this adds up quite a bit. The reason the Rams are number one is because they only play one game in a tax-free state of Washington. So every other game they play, they have to pay state income taxes on. So keep in mind that these top-end ones are 9.5 to 10%. Now that I'm going on to who pays the least. So number 3 is the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee is a state that doesn't have income tax. That's a big help. Texas is also a state that doesn't have income tax. Another help. And then Florida ends in either. So that is 3 of the 4 teams in the AFC South, no income tax. If you want to not pay as much taxes as you can, maybe play for the AFC South. You know, the Texans looking pretty good right now. But anyways, the Titans are at 2.78%, so roughly a quarter of what the NFC West is paying. And the Titans only pay income taxes on 6 of their games. The next is the Texans at 2%, which is incredibly low. They only play 5 games in states with state income tax, and to add on to that, they don't play in New York and they don't play in California. Huge upside. And then finally, this one really blows the water and is shockingly low. The Jacksonville Jaguars play 4 games in states with income tax, and they pay 1.25%. They do play 1 game in New York, but the other 3 are states like Indiana, where it's only around 3%. So they pay roughly 1/10 of the state income taxes that the Rams did. And if you're talking about a player who gets, I don't know, let's say an average NFL player salary of $10 million per year, that means that's roughly $1 million difference just in between the 2 teams. Now, it's not quite as large as some people probably thought, where if you're in Tennessee, it's 0, and if you're in California, it's 13.3. That's not exactly how it works, but there is a major difference. Now, before I finish it, full disclaimer, the states don't just print money out of nowhere. They still do get taxes in other places, whether it's through more tolls, higher sales tax, or what's really common is much higher property taxes, which could have a bigger impact on these really rich NFL players who buy mega mansions. But anyways, I just thought this would be a good lineup of my expertise between business and the NFL. Thought some people might want to know, but yes, don't play in California. Do play in the AFC South if you just don't want to pay taxes. Anyways, like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you later.